Hello and welcome to Trenta, 30-something conversations with 30-somethings and the 30-something else. I thought
Woo.
we'd talk about something a bit light this week, partly because I wanted to take a break from the noise on social media, and partly also because of a realization I've come to this COVID, because of COVID, which is that it allowed us an opportunity to revisit old passions. And for me, that's music. So our guest today is someone whom I think shares that same passion for music. He's a singer, songwriter, and all-around musician. So ladies and gentlemen, fresh from DC, give it up for Gabe Ginigundo.
Hello, listeners. What's up? Hello, Abe. I know papakinggan mo to mamaya. So, I'm saying, pwede po ba mag-shoutout?
Go ahead, go.
Shoutout to all my fans, my family and friends. Hello, shoutout. Thank you to Paige for giving me this opportunity. Erica, hello. Alam ko, isisend ko sa iyo yung link as soon as ma-publish to.
Alright. Showbiz mo talaga. So ito, I know pinaghandaan mo to. And hindi na to surprise. So, would you care to give your ASL?
Name, yes, sabi mo name. Age, I'm now 30. Just recently turned 30 years old. Male and location, Quezon City, Philippines.
Alright. Well, first of all, congratulations on your LLM.
Thank
What
you.
was your LLM on nga? Sorry.
I chose yung general studies because you get to pick the courses that you want to take. But there was an option to take a certificate of international arbitration and litigation. I felt that was the most portable out of all the certifications. And I think meron naman akong background from that field. Kasi yung iba parang it required a background in public health or like IP, mga kung ano-ano other courses that I felt like wala naman siya.
Diyan ka muna?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Palalak ko muna doon?
Yeah.
Hi, tita.
Wait po.
Hello.
Hi po.
And so there. And also kasi meron akong plans to take the New York bar. So I wanted also to take some subjects that could possibly appear dun sa So I took con law, evidence, and mga civ pro. So
Were you able to take the New York bar? Were you able to take the New York bar ba?
Supposedly July siya, but then it was postponed to September. So ngayon, I'm in that bar review stage again.
And then you can take the exam.
I'm flying back.
Yeah,
I'm flying back depende sa quarantine procedures nila. Pero hopefully not too long yung pag-alis ko dito.
Did you have a graduation ceremony like online?
There was it was like a 30-minute video lang of basically teachers saying congratulations.
Okay, cool.
No, parang yung per name or per course. There was just yung formal conferment kasi required parang apparently kailangan important yung date when the degree was conferred. So sinasabi nila this is the day when i-confer siya officially. And apparently yung president of Georgetown, university-wide graduation. So even yung undergrad kasali. So yung president magsasabi siya ng yung apparently parang from the 1700s pa, that same line, yun yung parati nilang sinasabi every year na
like, parang tradition.
Yeah, parang ganun.
Cool.
Parang apparently, and he told us na we're the oldest school. We were the first school with a legislative franchise, parang ganun.
Oh, interesting.
Kaya hindi nila pinapalitan yung sinasabi ng president kapag commencement exercises.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of your experience in Georgetown, what was it like being there at the height of the June protests first, and second, flying back to the Philippines just 2 weeks ago? Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, basically.
Yeah.
yung protest. I don't know why, pero for some reason we have the knack of always being in DC in each time meron mga national catastrophe. Like I remember 9/11, nandun din kami nung sa Trenta.
Really?
Yeah, we were there, and my parents came back from New York like 2 days before the 9/11 attacks. But here, parang it was a bit surreal kasi we were basically at the center of the free world. And parang nakikita mo sa news, parang yung White House nag-lockdown and then protest and then looting, etc., etc. It was kind of surreal kasi if you just look outside, you could see the people, every street talaga, minsan nag-vandalize sila. And then most of the shops would board up parang 3 p.m. Meron na sila yung mga kahoy in front of their stores. And like other stores, parang naglalagay na sila ng mga message na Black Lives Matter, ganyan-ganyan. It was because parang insurance policy na nila yun na please don't touch our stores, ganyan-ganyan. So even the convenience stores nagsarado, parang by this time kasi every day there would be protests. And parang yung additional complication was of course yung social distancing guidelines. Everyone parang if it were otherwise, kunwari wala, I would have wanted to at least observe. I'm not saying that I have a personal stake dun sa movement, but at least observe. And there was one afternoon na parang nag-viral to, I don't know if you saw it. Merong street doon, yung 16th Street leading up to the White House. Naglagay sila nirename nila na Black Lives Matter Avenue or something. So it was painted yellow. Yung malaking font na parang yung mga mala Canva yung dating. So Canva, baka mali mo, sponsor tayo dyan. Tapos, parang kami ni Kuya, we had to do some errands that required us to pass through that area. Nag-observe kami, as in, it's really incredible to see yung mga tao doon just really flocking and to see them really passionate about something. Tapos at the same time, makikita mo yung the National Guard, nandun yung mga Hummer nila nakakalat. Parang it's nice to observe it in real time. Para may second hand ka lang ayun. But and parang it marked another important milestone I think sa history in the US. It was just unique to see it habang nandun pa kami.
Yes, yeah.
And because we were delayed kasi dapat June 4 pa lang umuwi na kami. This was the time na we were literally just looking for something to do. So yun, parang it was nice. What's the second question?
What was flying back to the Philippines?
All right. It was kind of hectic because it was a moving target. Parang every now and then we had to adjust our schedules. So yung complication is yung utilities. Sobrang adulting ito kasi kailangan mo nung kuryente, kailangan mo nung, of course, yung lease namin, which already expired. Then you also had to deal with yung internet, which we needed. So lahat yung kailangan, yung customer service there isn't the best. Ewan ko kung bakit. But we had to call each one of those. Kasi napaputol na namin eh. So parang, okay, this is our departure date, putulin nyo na. And then we would find out na na-cancel. So, reconnect na naman namin. And then of course, we planned ahead. So yung groceries namin, all of our supplies and essentials, binudget na namin na wala na matitira pag alis namin. So when the call came na na-cancel kami, bili na naman kami ng groceries, ganun. But we were fortunate enough because we had a family friend who stayed nearby.
Okay.
So whenever we needed food, siya nagpapadala na siya ng mga home-cooked meals, ganun. So basically, okay naman. It was nice naman. And when we finally flew back, I have to say this. I was supposed to write a Facebook entry, pero parang after a while tinamad na ako. But not all stories of returning back to the country are terrible kasi I was particularly impressed. I think we were the first flight when PAL opened yung flight na New York to Manila. I think we were one of the first flights na ano yun. And then every flight attendant was wearing yung full PPE attire. And then when we arrived, everyone was just really courteous. Yung merong quarantine official that boarded the plane, and then may mga forms na kailangan ibigay. And then pagbaba mo, they would assist you. Kailangan mo gumawa na parang online account. So you would get like a QR code na yun na lang isa-scan nila. Then may nakatabi akong tao na they was just really stubborn about it na tinatamad ako maggawa ng online form. Ayan, hindi naman ako marunong sa cellphone. So yung Coast Guard, sila mismo yung mag-fill up ng form for you. Para talagang, and then parang every corner meron nakatayong Coast Guard reminding you to keep your distance, etc., etc. And then kunwari magtatapon lang ako ng trash, sila mismo yung kusang lalayo sa'yo. So there was really a process na madaling sundan if you only do your research ahead of time. Kasi kami ni Kuya nag-research na kami what to expect. So we already accomplished some of the forms ahead of time. And then everyone was just respectful, even sa pagkuha ng maleta. Sila na nag-unload ng mga maletas dun from yung carousel. And then I was really impressed. I was impressed na meron na pala tayong ganung process. So I mean, I'm sure, I mean, it's real yung mga kwento, of course, kasi yung perspective ko is from a non-OFW perspective. Pero for the OFW, I understand na iba yung process nila. But for if anyone yung merong apprehensions of going back, as long as you get that flight, it should be easy enough. We were out, mga 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Labas na kami ng airport.
Well, that's good to hear, no? Yeah. Na parang you had quite a good experience coming home. And it wasn't traumatic. Okay, so moving on to our topic, finally. Haba na intro, no? Our topic about music in general. Like, love for music. How did it all begin for you?
I was started at an early age. Kasi my parents had this thinking that dapat balanced yung mga anak nila. So it's aside from I mean, I think you understand this, yung meron kong stress on academics. Parang yung uso noon was yung mga anak mo dapat well-rounded. So parang for me, it's like either you have a sport or you have an instrument. Obviously, wala ako doon sa sport. So my parents enrolled us early on sa Yamaha School of Music. I think it was I was 3 or 4 years old. I don't even remember it.
Sobrang bata.
Sobrang bata. Parang, I think na hindi ako umabot sa cut-off. I think I was kind of, parang 5. But because si Kuya pasok no sa cut-off, iusap sila na, can you just, alam mo yung kahit saling lang sa kit-kit na dyan. And I think it also had to do, I mean, may scientific explanation din na dapat yung pag-develop ng brains ng bata. It kind of stimulates the brain differently than just academics. Yeah. So I think that's why they did it. And also because parang they wanted to give us the opportunities that they So and I started at an early age, and then from that point on, I think music has been a part of my life basically until today. And I think yung maganda doon was kasi it's either you listen to music or you play it. I was trained first na to play it. Parang hindi yung appreciation ko of it was from that perspective of ikaw yung nagpo-produce.
Yeah.
Aside, so late, I mean, towards elementary probably, doon lang ako nagkaroon ng interest of really seeking out my taste of music, what kind of music I like, discovering different genres.
What was the first instrument you learned to play?
Piano.
Okay. Kasi i-announce ko lang sa lahat na si Abe kasi plays a lot of instruments. What other instruments nga do you play? Drums, guitar?
Drums, guitar, sax.
Oh yeah, sax rin pala.
Yeah.
Were your parents into music themselves?
Yes. And the nice thing is, I think napamana nila sa amin yung that same genre. So ako, I grew up listening to yung mga jazz music, mga Nat King Cole, Rod Stewart, Frank Sinatra. And I actually, basically, yung the kind of music that I appreciate. Although, of course, meron ng mga pop and hip-hop ganyan. But I kind of gravitate always towards that kind of music, like Beatles, ganyan. So, I mean, my dad even has yung mga record players, etc., etc. So, siya yung more of listening type. He was not the producer or he wasn't not kumakanta or tumutugtog ng instrument. So, I think, and then also my mother's side naman, yung grandfather ko was a singer.
Talaga?
So, that din yung nagpilit sa amin na mag-lessons ng voice, ganyan. And he was in the States before. So, whenever he would visit, maririnig ko siya nag-vocalize. Alam mo yung mga vocal exercises sa umaga. So,
what
yun.
What type of singer was he? Classical or?
Yeah. Parang operatic,
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So, yun.
So, speaking of the Beatles, who else were your idols, so to speak? Or who influenced your taste in music?
So, kung artists, I think it would depend on meron akong mga phases I don't know if you went through the same thing. Para kang merong iba-ibang phase. Like, nung high school, for some reason, yung high school, it was the OPM boom I don't know if you remember it. The first one, kasi ngayon, I understand na nabubuhay
There's
na
a
naman.
new wave, yeah.
Yeah, but the first boom, so andyan yung mga, I don't know why I remember, parang Orange and Lemons, yung mga
Sponge Cola.
Yeah, Sponge Cola, ganyan. And my favorite nung time na yon was Urban Dub.
Yeah.
River Maya. So I think yan yung mga idols ko, so to speak. Alam ko, I understand you appreciate Q-Shay.
Ako, I remember you appreciate Jimmy Bondok and
Jimmy Bondok, Paulo Santos. Keith Martin. I'm South Border at that time.
Yeah. Totoo na to ha. Totoo, yeah. Super.
South Border kasi medyo R&B yung vibes nila doon.
Yeah.
But I really appreciated yung urban dub. And then later on, parang I also had a metal phase, like a brief metal phase. So,
seryoso? I didn't know that.
I went to mga Metallica, yung mga Avenged Sevenfold. There was even an emo phase na mga My Chemical Romance, yung mga ganyan. And nung nasa States ako before, yung 2001, 2003, meron naman akong hip-hop phase noon. So yung mga si Ja Rule pa noon Ewan ko kung kilala pa ng mga tao yun ngayon. Sino pa ba yun? Mga Tupac, yan, Tupac. And then meron pa noon yung yung parang rock or rap metal, Linkin Park. Yan it's one of my all-time favorites, yung Linkin Park, POD, yung mga ganyan, yung mga mixed genres na hindi mo talaga kung ano ba talaga sila. But now, parang I rediscovered my love for siguro R&B, yung mga Dan User, and then also yung mga medyo chill na tipong John Mayer, mga ganyan.
Yeah.
And also, of course, all throughout that, yung passion ko for gospel music. I understand that it's evolving ngayon. It's a lot different yung sound nila today. But medyo fan ako ng mga oldies na talaga mga Baptist Black Church vibes. Yun yung mga gusto ko with music. So, yun.
So would you agree with the statement that art imitates life?
Right. I do. I think because parang most of the, if we're talking about music, I mean, most of the good music was composed out of like a frustration or there's always a story behind every single hit. Para hindi mo lang naman siya, I don't know if may mga artists na kayang magsulat or mag-produce the music without
walang pinaghuhugutan.
Lyrical music. There's always that song na parang it hits your soul, parang it kind of expresses what you feel at that time. So parang I think that's how people discover their favorite artists or their type of music is meron silang frustration that they really can't voice out. They have this emotion, they have this feeling that they can't really convey, and then they find this perfect song that you basically that they went through the same experience. So for example, meron kang mga love, like the kind of love songs na either kunwari parang first love or like blooming pa lang or like mature kind of love or a heartbreak ganyan, di ba? Syempre uso yung heartbreak ganyan, but yung kind of that experience I think gets translated into music a lot because nga yung sabi mo na yung art imitates life. So I think most of the really good music, yun yung talaga merong pinanggalingan or inspired. Yeah.
How has so before that pala, who's your all-time favorite artist and what's your all-time favorite song?
Sobrang hirap nun, ha? Like, all-time favorite artist, all-time favorite song.
Like you would drop everything and go to the concert or grab the chance to meet him or her or them.
Wow, I think parang that's
or kahit off the top of your head.
Parang for some reason, parang I would say either Frank Sinatra or Nat King Cole. Or Beatles also. There was this, they're not really like yung tipong go-to ano ko, but when you presented your question na if there was a chance, I would drop everything. I can imagine myself really going lengths to see these people. Kasi parang, there was this movie, it came out, I think, a year or two, parang 2 years ago, yung Yesterday. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah, I watched that.
That Indian guy na, yun, so our listeners, if hindi nyo pa napapanood yung Yesterday, I suggest you really see that. The premise of the movie was parang how would a world look like without the Beatles, their music, and you could really feel the void na may mga songs na generational eh. Parang yung Beatles, they were there for many decades and parang ma-associate mo this time of history, parang what song came out, and it kind of brings out a lot of emotions. And those emotions you won't feel those without hearing the music again. Parang ganun yung and may parang turning point sa story na people just wanted to hear again yung music ng Beatles. So I think basically all of their songs, I found myself parang, sila pala to, alam mo, parang okay, I didn't know that I appreciated their music this much. And also at the same time, yung mga oldies, mga Stevie Wonder, ganyan.
Yeah.
There's yung mga songs niya talagang hindi mo alam na alam mo pala siya.
Yeah. Parang you grew up with them not knowing they were the ones behind that.
Yeah, right. And parang covers, madami ng covers, pero pag narinig mo yung original, parang, wow, galing. Parang ito nga ako guilty eh. Kasi when you watch a concert, yung ganda niya is basically depends on how well you know the songs. Guilty ako dito because I watched the last concert I watched was yung kay Daniel Caesar. And admittedly, I was more familiar with yung older albums niya. So when he came here, yung focus ng tour niya was yung new album. It was beautiful. It was nice music. Pero parang hindi, alam mo yun, parang hindi ako makasing along dun sa mga songs niya masyado. Except yung, so nung tinugtog na niya yung Get You, yung mga ganyan. Doon lang ako talaga, alright, di ba? Parang, I can imagine dapat yung, like a good concert for me, dapat yung mga songs talagang alam ko by heart. So, yun yung mga, like the artists that I mentioned.
But it's also different, no, when you really see those artists live, and then you really there are artists kasi who really give off a certain energy.
Yeah, right.
You really know na ang galing nila, their artistry is superb.
Yeah, oo.
And that's what I felt also.
Ganyan?
Sorry?
So, I mean, have you been to, meron ka bang musician na you were really impressed? I mean, impressed ka na listening to them, but when you saw them live?
I think the latest also would be Daniel Caesar. Galing niya. In fairness to him talaga, galing. We're the same na parang we knew most of the songs from his Freudian, was it Freudian album?
Yeah.
And then, knew lang yung his case study album, diba? Pero after that concert, as in like, paulit-ulit akong nakikinig sa his new album. So parang, galing niya.
But I mean, of course, his voice is pristine, pero it's more of yung kind of music na pinoproduce niya, how it works together. Para siya parang it all melts into one sound. Yeah. That's how I describe him. Parang meron siyang certain vibe na siya lang nagagawa lang niya, siya lang yung may kaya. I don't know. Parang I can't really explain it. Pero parang yun yan, I appreciate din yung mga concerts na when you come early, makikita mo na medyo nagka-soundcheck yung mga tao.
Yeah.
And then you can really see how they respect their craft, how they respect their instrument. So parang kailangan lahat on point before we. Parang hindi yung bara-bara masyadong
wing it lang.
Ayun. Parang ito talaga. But at the same time, meron din konting medyo spontaneous pa din naman yung flow nung. And yun nga, parang I really don't understand yung level of talent of some people. Like, they make it look natural.
You mentioned nga, di ba? Yung mga YouTube na pinafollow mo.
Yeah. That's why I think I enjoy music. Like, for some people, yung sports sila di ba? Parang I mean, of course, I appreciate sports also, as well. Pero parang, kunwari, yung mga stats, how they appreciate sports because parang they see yung extent of the human body, how far it can go. Ako naman, parang sa music, I'm just really fascinated. By no means am I like an expert sa any instance. I don't claim to be an expert. But I enjoy just watching people na perfect na nila yung ginagawa nila.
Right.
Kasi mauubos yung oras mo just watching people how can they come up with even an album pa lang. Coming up with, I tried songwriting, parang sobrang hirap niya to come out with even decent lyrics, but then to come up with an album na sustain mo yung ganung klaseng sound, and at sobrang nagagalingan talaga ako. I have to give my props to siguro si Kanye West and si mga J. Cole. Yan, yung mga favorite ko ngayon na parang how do they really produce a sound na iba-iba per album, and then every one of them parang chart toppers ngayon. Parang, wow. Beatles especially, parang sino ba makaisip nung yung groove ng Hey Jude, parang how do you even come up with that kind of music? It's just
super way beyond their years.
Yeah, yeah.
What about the evolution in your approach to music or in the music that you make over the years? Would you say your taste has evolved?
I think definitely. Yung nga sabi ko sa'yo, I had this metal phase, I had this emo phase. Although, pag narinig ko naman siya, I would still, I would appreciate it still. Like for me, there's no terrible music out there. Everyone gravitates toward their type of music. But for me, I'm more of ngayon medyo tahimik na. Parang like music that I can work to. Kasi I'm at that phase in my life where the luxury of time hindi na masyadong, you really appreciate like the small pockets of time that you have to yourself to really concentrate on tasks. So the kind of music that I'm into in now is yung mga pwede kong isabay with my routine, with my day, And it turns out na yun yung mga mellow music.
Mm-hmm.
But also parang I rediscovered my appreciation for Broadway.
Oh.
Yeah, when I was in just this year pala yun, no? Grabe. Just this year nung January, I went to see Hamilton with Erica sa New York.
Oh.
And it was the perfect musical for me kasi I didn't know much about it when I bought the tickets, pero I did my research. Apparently it's a hip hop musical, but meron din siyang parts na Broadway, as in yung talagang magaling na. And then seeing them really perform, I mean, of course, alam ko ikaw you would appreciate this. Parang in a way very refreshing siya, but also parang nanghihinayang ako because I know like half of the famous so-called artists these days, yung level of talent nito mga tao na to, that they really bang it out day in, day out. They rehearse, and then each show, they have to come out talagang A-game nila, on point sila parate.
Yeah.
Talent nila, parang sobrang nilang gagaling. And then to see them perform live na with a straight face. Kasi yun parang yun yung challenge ng, I think yung Broadway arts. Dapat straight face ka, and then, ikaw may background ka dyan, you have to sort of exaggerate some of your movements. At the same time, sing like nasa studio ka.
Yeah.
Yun, parang...
Buti you guys were able to get tickets.
Oo, medyo last minute talagang parang sinuwerte na lang talaga ako when I bought those tickets kasi I understand na medyo siya, hard to...
Medyo hit.
Yeah, tapos sobrang pricey din niya compared to the other show. Kasi parang...
Oh, you're so lucky.
Yeah. Inaabangan ko nga kasi walang Disney Plus dito, but pero there's a way to go around, parang
VPN. Wow.
Yeah, VPN. Kasi I nag-subscribe ako ng Disney Plus when I was still in DC. So ngayon di ko pa siya kina-cut because I was supposed to cut it parang before I left, but nung nalaman ko na maglalabas yung Hamilton, it would be nice. So,
going back to taste in music, no? Can you read a person by his or her taste in music? Or do you judge a person by his or her taste?
Alam ko ganyan ka siguro. Parang, ayan, I think, well, first of all, parang the great thing about music is it's a way to connect. Parang chances are when you appreciate a certain genre or certain type of music, once you find out na a person is really into that, instantly you will find a lot of similarities sa personality niyo.
That's true.
I mean, a good example yan, kunwari, nung kami ni Erica, we were starting. Parang nagsa-start pa lang akong I was just trying to get a feel of her taste ng music. I remember our first date, nagpa-play lang ako ng mga songs, ganyan, kasi may mga dead air, ganyan. Kasi she's years younger than me, so parang feeling ko, baka na-appreciate niya yung mga yan, Daniel Caesar, ganyan. And then, to find out that she was raised similarly by her dad na nagpapatugtog ng mga oldies. It's kind of rare to see yung people her age na appreciate yung mga, exactly, like Rod Stewart, Stevie Wonder, like all of the jazz, yung mga classics na ganyan, even mga Motown, yung mga ganyang type of music. She appreciates as well. So ako parang, at that pa lang, nung nalaman ko yun, nag-connect na kami in many ways na hindi na kailangan pag-usapan.
Yeah.
And parang in a way, you can really get to know a person, as you said, by their taste of music. As for yung mga like judging people, siguro parang impression, probably not going so far as saying judge, but yung impression mo like, this person is really into like death metal. Probably he has parang frustrations or meron siyang problems. Because yun nga, it's hard to appreciate music if you don't really connect to it. So parang makikinig ka ba talaga ng mga angsty music if you don't have that same emotion, di ba? So in a way, kung yan talaga yung music that this person appreciates, kahit pa paano mo, ma-judge mo na, okay, may pinagdadaanan talaga to or yan talaga yung personality niya. Yeah, but it's interesting to observe yung mga,
Right.
yeah. I don't know if ikaw may similar experience ka ba?
Yeah, yun rin. Parang, I realized also na I connect a lot with people who have that same passion for music. Even if we don't necessarily listen to the same genre. So long as I know that there's that interest in music, parang
Right.
those are the people I gravitate towards more.
Like, di ba may organ nung, di ba, blue rep ka ba nun?
Oh.
Yeah, right. Exactly, di ba? Parang you join like-minded people with the same thing. Kasi it just gets rid of a lot of conversations. But it cuts the pleasantries, ganyan.
Yeah.
And then you just fast forward to, okay, why do you like this music? Ganyan. What's your experience? Or how did you discover this kind of music? Parang yun na yung diretso ng usapan. It answers already a lot of questions, I think.
I'm curious also, would you have pursued a career in music or the arts in general had you not gone to law school?
To give you an honest answer, I don't think so. Like yung main bread and butter. It's really because yung track ko was started right basically before birth. Parang yun na yung like my parents were kind of grooming me into this kind of, but I think the beauty of it is, I mean, to qualify my answer, the beauty of it is, since we were also raised alongside music, I don't feel na meron akong itch na kailangan i-scratch or parang merong kulang sa akin because I grew up playing sa church. So yung basically since 2003 or 2004, I would show up to church early every Sunday, and then we would also have practices every Friday. So that's high school, college, even law school. Even law school, Fridays. Wala na yun. As in, wala akong Friday nights. Kasi I would always go to church to practice, and then Sunday morning, it's the entire day, basically church yan. Tapos, yun, para I can get that kind of fulfillment of playing. So, kunwari, listening to music, yun yung weekdays ko, and then playing music, yun, I can really express myself that it's really a part of my life. It's not like yung mga stories that you hear na magaling kumanta, ganyan, or magaling tumugtog, pero kailangan magtrabaho, so they gave up on music completely. It's not yun yung, I think that's, parang meron akong sweet spot, kumbaga. But parang from time to time, I also dream of just being a musician kasi it's particularly playing parang playing as a part of a band. Parang for me, it's a lot more fulfilling than being ewan ko of course, yung mga soloist, sobrang galing nila. But for me, parang I really like yung not being sa spotlight masyado, parang just being part of the band. And then there's this whole group effort every time kayo umaapak sa stage.
That's true.
Like when you're kasi I think yung church band namin, the biggest stage we played in was sa, I think it was Cuneta. Parang malaki-laki na yun that time. Or like, hindi, sorry, PICC din. Ganyan.
Okay.
So, it's really quite an experience to play sa ganong klaseng venue na kumbaga parang papasok kayo sa gera na kayo-kayo lang. You can rely on yourselves. I mean, of course, the crowd can give you off some kind of energy, but when you really, sa stage na yan, na humaharap ko sa crowd, you can't even make out their faces. It's really, it's not lonely, but kayo-kayo lang, you can only rely on yourselves. So, yun, parang, that's why I have a lot of respect for yung mga musicians that do yung mga live shows because talagang, ang hirap niya gawin, but at the same time, sobrang niyang saya gawin. So, may mga times talaga nagpa-fantasize ako, daydream ako na, maging musician na lang ako. Just basically touring, and then when you're tired of touring, sulat ka na naman ng music. Alam mo, it's really a lifestyle that I could get used to.
We have we have lawyers. I know some lawyers, not personally,
right,
who are trying to make the world of music, or for one, let's say Mickey Ingles, the world of sports diverge with law.
Right.
And then let's say Pochoy Labog, the Dicta licensed vocalist, he still is able to pursue his passion for music while at the same time practice law. Do you ever dream of doing something like that as well?
Parang
like Mickey Ingles, he has a book on sports law, di ba?
Right. Oo. So sa akin, parang yung music, it would entail going into probably like IP or yung mga ganyan, parang enforcement of your IP rights. I did get into practice a bit nung first year out of law school, IP, and then I quit. Parang I realized na, I mean, parang hindi siya masyadong for me. I really respect the field, but yung IP, I know it's important, it's value, but as far as practicing, na yun din yung practice ko, parang hindi ko siya, parang I feel like it's not for me. I did enjoy it, but I feel like hindi yun yung gusto kong field na pasukin to like really specialize in. But I do realize yung value niya. Aside from IP, parang law. Ayun, I mean, I'm going back to my old answer.
Yeah.
My unique circumstance is parang nagbe-blend naman siya together.
So you're content with that?
Yeah. Oh. And like, meron ding part of me that doesn't really want them to commingle. Kasi parang the way I treated music was sort of like yun yung balance. When you're stressed, when you're already at wit's end. So, as you know,
parang
diba? Outlet mo siya, doon ka tatakbo.
Yeah.
Parang if tumawid pa yung law practice mo doon sa parang it's not gonna make it more enjoy. Parang
I see.
Mas mapapahiran yung music than yung law. Parang hindi babango yung law form. Parang hindi siya sasaya. Pero baka yung ano ko for music, baka yun yung pag na-taint siya, so to speak. I don't want it naman totally to commingle. But of course, yung the people who find a way to merge law and music together, or law and sports.
Yeah.
I really, parang
galing, no?
Ang galing nila kasi they can really, yun nga, gusto nilang ipagsabay yung dalawang passions nila. And apparently, parang may niche intersection na exploit, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for them na, day in, day out, they can practice, they can make a living out of
their passions.
Yeah, and then also their passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's your...
Yeah. Okay, final question. Where I think, ilang minutes na ba? 43 minutes na pala. I didn't even know that. Okay, how has music changed your life? Next.
Feeling ko dapat sumasagot ka rin kasi these are
Siyempre, ikaw yung guest.
Oo nga, pero parang I feel like this, I also want to know like your answer to that question because alam ko ikaw yung lawyer/musician din. Diba? So,
no, I always say, well, maybe to begin with, I always say na if there was something I can do for the rest of my life without even considering being paid, I would sing. Like I would sing all day, every day until I die.
Right. I get it.
So yun, I think, yeah, like you, parang music is, I find solace in music. Like whenever I hear good music, it always inspires me. It always comforts me.
Right.
So I think that's how it changed my life. Like I have a soundtrack for certain milestones or points in life.
I get it. Right.
I remember certain years through music.
Right.
This
Exactly.
song, okay, ganito ako dati. If I hear that song, okay, that's super like college days, ganon.
Yeah, right. Oo. Ako yan, I mean, just to echo what you said, I feel like sometimes, I don't know, I might come off as weird, pero I feel like my life is a movie sometimes. And you need a soundtrack.
True.
Diba? For that movie. So meron akong times na exactly what you said, na I can remember a certain phase of my life based on the music that I was listening to at that time. So I think yun yung mga, I remember reading an article about it na merong tao na may Alzheimer's. But when you start playing the music na familiar sa kanya, yung parang yung memory niya na jog. And it parang meron na mas na-improve yung memory functions niya because of the music that that was playing sa background. Kasi yun yung pinakinggan niya at that time. Parang in a sense, that's how I lived my life na every stage na meron akong pinapakinggan. And just really listening to a playlist na dati mo pinapakinggan, it just sends you back to that time na, okay, ano na to, college days to. I remember na nag-aabang-abang ako sa SEC, nakachinelas, nakahabaya pa ako niyan. Alam mo yun, nagpapasundo ako sa Xavier Hall. Yung ganong klase din also, nung nasa Lasal pa ako, ganyan. Parang, it's just really nice to have something to mark yung stage of your life na it's not just yung memory mo na you're left to just visualizing.
Definitely.
Para just one sense kasi. And syempre, yung when you visualize, mawawala na siya as soon as you see it. Everything, you will just have to visualize it because you can't replicate that moment anymore. Pero pag nakikinig ka kasi, you're listening to the same exact music, yung same sound waves na yun. That's why parang mas madali ka ma-transport back. Para meron siyang muscle memory in a sense. Anyway, parang music also changed my life because it's how I also connect to people. Parang sa parents ko, we always have yung mga road trip music dati. Parang yun yung pinapakinggan namin. And also, pag sa Christian music naman, it's also my way of connecting with my creator, ganyan. And also yung mga love songs, gano'n naman, yun naman yung palitan namin ni Erica ngayon. Parang we always share music. 'Di ba? Parang yun yung parang I heard this song today and then I think you appreciate it. Or also, kunwari, meron kang friend who's going through something, you don't know how to comfort them, you send them a song. Ganon. If you also don't know how to comfort yourself, you listen to a song. Parang that's the major role, I think, music. And then I don't think hindi unique to sa atin. Parang it's like everyone has story to tell basta pagdating sa music.
And music knows no language.
Right. Oo. Totoo. Ito kasi, ewan ko parang I'm giving myself away here. Pero when I was in the States, nung medyo na-homesick na ako ganyan, I would watch yung mga Korean drama. And then, di ko naman gets yung sinasabi ng mga kanta. But yun nga, she said, na, parang music knows no language. When I hear that song, it still conveys the same kind of emotion na gustong ipalabas nung. Parang yun nga, parang it's yung na-associate ko yung emotions, yung feelings ko whenever I hear that sound. I don't even have to understand ever yung sinasabi nila.
So true. Thanks so much, Abe. I got so many goosebump moments. Galing.
Yeah.
So thank you for your time, and it was so great catching up with you, talking about music and just music.
Yeah.
Thank you. We can chika after a bit. I'll just stop recording.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, listeners.